Hello, everyone. Welcome back to the school year or virtual school year. For those of you that don't know me, my name is Emily Dillett. I'm a PSW with LD Central, and I've been in this unit for 2 years. This will be my 3rd year, and I've been with the district. This will be my 5th year with the district. Today I'm creating this video as a way to provide you with some information and some tools on how to make a virtual office website. I am going to only cover the website called Wix.com because that's the website I like to use to create websites. I think that their templates and tools are really easy to use and easy to navigate. And so that's what I'll be showing you today. So let's get started. The very first thing that I recommend, step number 1, would be to determine your scope. Making a website is a nebulous process. It can send you down a rabbit hole. You can create so many different pages and so many different types of videos, tools, buttons. Like it's like a blank slate, right? And so that can feel very overwhelming. So the first thing that I recommend, the good advice that I should have given myself when I started but didn't know yet, is that you should really create an outline to determine what is the scope of your website. Like, what do you really want to be there? How many pages are you thinking about having? What do you want on each page? And that will develop further, obviously, as you start playing around and getting ideas and getting more and more creative. But it just helps to have like some stepping stones or building blocks, kind of like creating an outline before you started writing an essay. So let me share my screen and just show you what mine should have looked like. I actually made this after the fact, but let me just share my screen. Okay. So here is my website outline. So you always have a home page. And so on the home page, I wanted to make sure there was like emergency information, maybe an about me section, so on and so forth. I'm not going to go through this whole thing, but you can see that each one of these rectangles represents like a page on my website. And then you can see, office hours, resources, self-care. And by the way, this may change a bit as you look at templates and see, this template has the about me actually, on a different page, not on the home page. So this is just a way to jump off and start your project. It's not, going to have to determine everything. But that is my recommendation. Develop your scope, create an outline just to get you started and to make it feel like a less overwhelming process. So next, you need to choose a template, right? So again, I'm only going to go over Wix.com. So here you can see that I'm at sort of the beginning phase of starting my website on Wix.com. So you would go to Wix.com, you would create your profile, and then there's a button that says, start your website or pick a template or build your website. So we're here and it says, what kind of website do you want to create? This is tricky because there's not like a PSW template or a therapist template, but I would encourage you to just pop around, right? Like maybe online store would not have good templates for us because we're not going to have products we're selling. Probably not music, probably not a portfolio, right? But maybe business, right? Because a lot of people, like a lot of business websites may mirror kind of what we're doing, right? Choose how you want to create a website. Okay, so we don't want Wix to create a website for us because that costs money. We're going to go to create your own website with the editor, and it says choose template. So here we are. So this is business templates. And I would say explore. Any template can be changed. You can hide pages that exist. If, for example, if you see that a business page has products to sell online and that's a page they have on there, you can delete it or hide it. So you can use templates that have pages or information that you don't want to go on there. You delete using tools in it. So we're just gonna click one just so you can kind of see what it looks like. So online medical consultation. I don't know, maybe that would be a good one to start with. So let's go to the template. All right, so here you're in a template. You can change anything here. Okay, so like this background picture, I clicked on it and it says change strip background. So it gives you options, right? So I'm gonna change it to, well, not that. I'm gonna change it to this, right? So now I've changed the picture. You can import an image, right? Let's say you want to import, an image that represents, how you see mental health, right? Maybe it's the beach, maybe it's something that feels inspiring for you. It's very self-explanatory. Go to image, and then you go to upload media, and you can take a saved picture from your computer. You can look at the stuff they have. So let's say I want wooden house in the forest, change background. There we go. Everything on this, you're in edit mode right now. So again, like these are our different pages. You just click on the area you want to change. So this is a menu. And you can go to manage menu. And then here, we don't want to put our doctors. So maybe that page becomes your about me section. So you would rename it to about me, done. And then this is also, by the way, this menu, which you can either click by going to manage menu, or you can go right here, menus and pages. This will toggle you back and forth between the different pages in edit mode. So I just changed that section to about me. So maybe I want to go to that section now. Meet our doctors. So maybe we change that language to, Miss Emily Dillon, PSW, about me, whatever, right? Something like that. These images you can change, or you can just delete it. But maybe you want to put an image of yourself up, right? You can use all of this, or you can delete all of this. So let's say I want to delete this whole tool. Let's see, manage columns. And some of this takes exploring. Like I don't have this tool on my website, so it might take some exploring, but look, you see the trash can here. All I did was I clicked, manage, delete. So maybe you want to highlight your interns, right? Maybe you have your picture here, and obviously we want to delete one of these. So again, click on it, and you can edit text, right? So if I click on the text, it's going to give me a text box edit. If I click on the column, the whole thing here, manage column, oops, manage column, trash. So you can do this until there's just your picture, and then you can put some information here, or you can maybe have your interns add their information. So that's, and again, this is just one template, and you can delete this whole thing and add your own content. So let's do that. So I'm gonna actually delete this whole column thing, because let's say I don't like it. Let's say I want it to look different. So I'm just, let's change the background to this. So again, I'm just playing around. And again, this is not a tool that I've used before, this column creator. So I'm still learning even as I'm showing you this. So manage columns. So I'm just trying to delete everything so I can start fresh. Manage column, trash. Again, clicking on what you want to change. And so you can drag it. You can left click, delete. Okay, so let's say this, remember this is your about me section, right? So let's say you're like, I want a blank slate for my about me. And on this particular, so let's get rid of that too, delete. So on this particular website template, it's not taking you to a different page, it's taking you to a different section of this page. It doesn't really matter because you would still go to it the same way. You go to your site menu, about me, it takes you there, and now you have that text that we created, and now we have no content, right? Because we deleted everything. See this plus sign? This is your tools. You can add text, images, a button, which would be like if you wanted to link to a different page or you wanted to link to a website, you could create a button. So I'll just show you how to do that since we're playing around. So you can pick any of these. This is what the button will look like, right? So let's say I pick say hello. I don't know. And again, you can change this text too. Let's say you're like, I really like the way that button looks, but it needs to say, make an appointment. And then you're gonna say, what does it link to? Where does this button link to? So it can link to a web address. So let's say you wanted to send them to a different website. Maybe you send them to your email address and it pops up. Maybe you want to, if it were a different button, maybe it would be, you know, more info here, and then you would send them to a different website, right? So for make an appointment, you probably want to have them go to a different page on your website that you're going to create for an appointment center, right? So you would book a session, right? They have something like that. We could change that language. It could say make an appointment, make a phone appointment. But right now we'll link it to book a section. So now when you click on this, and it won't work here because we're in edit mode. We're not actually looking at the published website. But now that button, will you click it and it would send you to your make an appointment page. Does that make sense? It's one of those things where there's a big learning curve, and once you start playing around with buttons and playing around with all the different tools, it starts to get easier to understand and you start getting into a flow. The other thing I would suggest as you're doing this is, right now nobody has access to your website, right? Because you're creating it from scratch. So you can publish it and no one will go to it because no one has the web address. So what you can do if you want to see the impact of what you're doing in edit mode is you can publish it, which there's a button up here, save, preview, publish. Or if you don't feel comfortable publishing it, you can go to preview. So let's go to preview. Okay, now we're in preview mode. So now I can click on this make an appointment button and see it went to that page that they have on this template, which we would make our own, right? We would make an appointment center there. Anyway, it's nebulous. So I think I just showed you sort of a little bit about how to, we're going to go back to editor, how to navigate the website a little bit. I think the easiest thing for me to do is show you my website and what tools I used on there. But again, to navigate between pages and change what your pages are called, you go to the site menu, which is the top left, menus and pages, right? And to add a tool or text or a button, you go here. Look at all the different things you can add. Text, so you can make a title, you can make your about me section, right? So you'll see all of this on my website. Images. And your images can have links. So you can have an image, like for example, on my website, I showed a picture of like a at-home scavenger hunt, and you can actually click on it and it'll take you to a Word document that has that scavenger hunt that you can print. So you can link to images the same way you can link buttons to different pages or different documents. You can create a gallery. So this is stuff I would just explore and play around with. You can create decorations, add shapes. These are interactive elements. I don't use these, but I'm sure they're very cool. Okay, so there's like, you know, sometimes at a website you can have like this thing. It'll have like sliding images that have different images passing by. Boxes, strips. So look, about us. You could take this strip and use that as your about me section and edit the content on there. Put a picture of yourself here, your name, and you know where you got your degrees and what your favorite thing about being a PSW is, right? Lists and grids, music and videos. So this is where you can actually embed videos, which you'll see on my website. You can create menus. You can add links to social media. So this is like your social bar that would go at the bottom of your website. Sometimes you see that right at the top. If somebody has an Instagram they want you to follow or something like that. Contact and form. So this is, you'll see this on my website. This is how I created my appointment center. You can embed a website. You can embed HTML. If you don't know what all that means, don't even worry about it. But again, the most important thing would be maybe embedding videos, and I'll show you what that looks like. YouTube. So they just put in a sample and you would just go change video and you would literally just put in the link from the YouTube video. So let's say you wanted to show that video about, empathy. So let me find that. So we're gonna go to empathy versus sympathy video. Oh, there it is. So then you would just copy, right? Control
if
copy.
If you manage a team, you have to try and line it up.
Okay, here we go. Hit that link, command copy, control copy. Go back to your website editor. Let's find it. There it is. And now you would place that into this thing. And now there it is. And now you have that embedded. And again, this website makes no sense, right? There's like a make an appointment button and a video. None of it makes sense. But you get the point. It's like there's a million tools, a million different things you can do when you go to this add button. You can add a blog. That's how I did my resources page. A store, which we do not need because we're not selling anything. There are booking features, but I think that type of stuff costs money on Wix. So that's like the basics. I feel like that's a lot, but I think it'll make more sense once we go to my actual website and you can see how I implement it in a way that makes sense. Whereas this is just a bunch of jumbled tools. So I'm going to leave my site because I'm not actually making that website. Okay. Here is my website in the edit mode. So this is not usable, like this is not the actual website. This is like how I edit it. So you can see, this is my homepage. And you can see here too that this Wix actually lets you translate your website into multiple languages. So I can show you quickly how I did that. Basically, when you put in text, right, like this is school doors may be closed, my virtual office is open. This is a text box I created by going to add, clicking on text and picking which text I wanted, right? So that's all I did. It popped up and then I just wrote that and then I dragged it into the place I wanted to go. Just the way you would do it in Word, right? Very simple. So now if you want to translate that into Spanish, you go up here where it says switch languages. And you can do it in all different languages because it's using Google Translate. So obviously it's not going to be perfect. And you do want, if you don't speak Spanish, you definitely want someone to review it before you go live. But it's pretty simple. So I'm switching it into Spanish. And now you'll see that everything's translated already. But had I not already done that, you would go here and then see it says translate with Google. You would just click that button and it would translate it using Google Translate. So that's true for all the text boxes, translate with Google, and you can edit the translation, but that's like the most simple way. Translate with Google, you can do it on all your buttons. Here's one of my buttons, translate with Google. And then when you're done doing that part, you just go back to English and that's where you do all the rest of your editing. You don't want to edit in the other language because it can mess with your formatting. Just go back to your English page and edit, like if you want to move text boxes around or something. Okay, so I'm going to take you through the different pages of my website and show you how I use certain tools. So here are the text boxes. Here is a button that I added, right? And this button links, so here, change text, layouts, design, animation. Here's the link. So where does this button take us? It takes us to my office hours page. And now I can change that to something else, but it wouldn't make sense, right? So that's good. Here's another text box with my summer message. This is my emergency, if you're experiencing a psychiatric emergency, and these are actual links. So this button, like if somebody is using this on their phone, they can actually just click this button. And again, here's your linked button. And sorry, let me just do that again because I know I'm going fast. So click on the button. You're clicking on the feature you want to edit. You can change the text, which I don't want to do, or I'm going to go to my linked, like what is this linked to? And I actually put in the number. So again, if you are looking at this on your cell phone, you can just push that button and and it'll call that number. It'll be like, like when you click on a website, it says like, do you want to call this number? And on a computer, I believe it'll still pop up the same way. So National Suicide Prevention Lifeline, so I did the same thing. So that's just a little extra thing I did to make it like very easy to use. Here's my About Me section. I kept it very simple. You can see I did not put much on there. So this is all on my homepage, but I also have some of this information on other pages. Here's my office hours, right? So again, these are all just text boxes. And this was all part of a layout that I altered. Here's another button that I inserted, right? Again, to add a button, add button. And then you would, I selected this one and I edited the text and added a link. How do you edit the text? Click on your button, change text. And remember to, if you're translating it to another language, to when you're doing your page, like once you sort of set it up, like let's say I just set up this text box, my button, right? I'm gonna wanna go to my Spanish and make sure that everything is translated into Spanish, right? So I translated everything into Spanish, but I'll go back to English. Okay, so again, you can see mostly I'm just using text boxes and buttons on this page. Request an appointment, let's see where that's linked to. Here's my linked button. It's linked to my office hours page, which has the appointment request tool, so people can actually send me an appointment request. So I just added an image here. So this was literally just me saving from the internet, and I just went add image. Oh, my image uploads, I have to click on this thing. Okay, sorry, they changed this a little bit. This looks a little different than last time I looked at it. It's gonna take you to this, and you can see that I have a bunch of site files on here already, but these are all things I uploaded, right? I uploaded media, and these are all my different images or PDFs or things that I use to link or use to put on the website. So I'm not gonna do that right now, but I'm just showing you how to get there. So that's how I added that image, and then you can just drag things where you want them, right? Here's more resources. So this is a button that links you to my resource pages. And then this is where I embedded my YouTube channel. And all this is, again, is just a tool that I inserted. So here's a text box, right? I just put the text box in. And then in order to put in my YouTube videos, I went to add videos and music. And so you can put in just one video, right? Like just one YouTube video, but because I have a channel with multiple videos, I picked this viewer, the one that's under Wix video to the right, that says your video channel name. I picked that. And then that popped up with like generic videos, and then you go to manage videos, and I was able to use my links from YouTube, like I showed you earlier, to upload videos that I have created with socio-emotional content. So it'll show now. So you can see here's my different videos. And if you look at my website, you can like toggle through them. Like see, there's a button that says next. You can toggle through them. And then me and my colleagues made a parent webinar. And so I also embedded that YouTube video here. Again, I just went to add video and music, and I just selected the YouTube, and then I was able to add that link, and it just embeds right there. Take a moment of self-care. So again, these are just images that I inserted, going to add, image, my image uploads. Okay, and then more self-care and fun. Here's a button that goes to another page. So I basically just made all my page links accessible in these buttons. But they're also at the top here, this menu, right? So at this menu, people can toggle between all my different pages. So let's do that now together. And remember, to go between your different pages, you go to menus and pages at the top left, click it. And you can see that I have home, about, office hours, mental health referrals. And then there was some, see the templates have extra pages on them or things I don't want. So I just hid them. So if you want to hide a page that you're like, I don't want this on my website, but I don't want to mess with the template, you just go to these three little buttons on the right of your page button or your page selection, and you can go to show or hide. So right now that's hidden and it says show. So I'm not going to click anything because I want that to stay hidden. There was like a more about me section. I didn't want more about me, so I hid that as well. I don't even remember what these things were, but I hid a few pages because for whatever reason, this template had things I didn't want on it. So the ones that are not in gray, you can see are the ones that are my actual pages. Home, about, office hours, mental health referrals, resources, self-care, and fun. And this is how I toggle between them. So like that other template, my about section is on the home page, but it just sends you down to it. See how I just slid down to it automatically? So office hours is its own page. So now I'm going to click on office hours, and you can see now I'm on my office hours page. And again, most of what I used on here is just the text box feature. Just added a text box, wrote office hours, added a text box here for my summer message. This is my text box that explains that I'm available for 30-minute phone or video appointments. I gave office hours when I didn't have meetings, when I was available to create appointments. And then this is the information I chose to put on my website that I think is important, you know, like that parents must provide verbal consents. And I put including, even for those 18 and older, right? So some students that are 18 and older may say, well, you know, can I just talk to you? But I have it already written there for them. Parent guardian will be asked to verify their name, relationship to student, and address at the beginning of our appointment. My appointments are not to be used for crisis. So you get the picture, like just really laying it out. And then I have a request appointment feature. And the way I did this is, again, I just used a tool in this add button. So I used, where is it? Contact and forms. So I selected the one at the top left. As you can see, it's like the same. And it pops up. And then you can do anything you want to this. You can edit. So you can go to form settings. And you can edit all kinds of things here. You can set up email notifications. You can, what's the name of this form? You can change the name of it. How messages, what the message shows when the person submits it. So when a person submits a form, it says, thanks for submitting. So you can change that. You can change how long you want that message to show. So you can see there's like payment, doesn't matter for us, but there's so many things you can do. And that's just in form settings. If you go, you can add a new field, which just means you're adding another space for people to write in. And I put in all of this information, like student's name, parent, guardian email, like you can edit all this text. So again, anytime you're doing anything in the Wix, you're clicking on the feature and pressing edit or using one of these tools. So let's say I wanted to change parent/guardian email, I would edit field. And then here's the text. And then you can decide, is this field required? So an example, I'm not requiring that parents put in an email because a parent may not have an email address, right? So they must put in the student's name. So if I go to student name, edit field, you can see I've selected that it's required because I need to know that this is a student that actually goes to one of my schools, right? Same with parent guardian name and same with their phone number because I need that. And then please provide a brief description of desired support and your availability, taking into account my office hours. And again, I'm pretty sure, yeah, this is a required field. So anything you want to edit in any tool, click, edit. If I want to edit the whole form, the whole tool, right? You click on that. If I want to edit this title, click on that, edit text. So everything's just a click and you edit it, click and edit it. And again, this is not something I created. I just added it via the contact and forms tool section. So that's my office hours. And now I'm going to show you my mental health referrals page. So we're not in the website. I can't just click it. I go here, mental health referrals. And now it'll take me to that page. So here you can see I literally just use text box and images, the same way you would do on Word if you were creating a flyer. There's nothing different. You know, add a text box, add an image, and then I put in information on the various mental health community agencies that we work with. And then I also put in information on Kaiser Permanente because a lot of my students do have Kaiser. And then I did add a private practice therapy section for, this is just about your school community, right? Like at Marshall High School, we do have a lot of students with private insurance, and often there's not information on how they get support because we're used to working with students, who may need Medi-Cal. Or I included like the Psychology Today website, or create an account with your insurance provider's website to use their search engine. And then I wrote, have Medi-Cal refer to the community health agencies listed above. Uninsured, call the Children's Health Access and Medi-Cal programs line. So I just gave as much information as I could. You can see the one thing I added here was some buttons. So here's a button for more resources, which is another page. So it links to my resources page. Here's a button for my self-care page. And again, you just add the buttons using this add feature buttons. Okay. Next page. So we go to menus and pages, and now we're going to go to resources. So for resources, I made a blog. And the way I made a blog was the same way you do everything. Add, blog, and then you can select the style of your blog. And so you would just click whichever one you want. And so I did this because I wanted it to be something I could keep adding to easily, and a blog is a really good way to do that. So you can see, this is just showing 6 here, but I actually have a lot more. And when you go to the actual public website, you can toggle through the different links. So you want to edit your blog, click on the blog, manage posts. And here you can add to it. You can edit old ones. You can do just about anything. I'm sure you're all familiar with looking at, blogs. You'll look up a recipe and you're on a food blog, that kind of thing, right? So this is just one way that to do the resources page. I think we all probably want some sort of resources page on our website. You could have it just be a list with text and links. You can keep it way more simple than this. This was just something I had fun with. But you can see here are all my different blogs that I did. So the Dream Center, I gave information about their food distribution, grab and go centers, the internet connectivity flyer we're all familiar with, DMH emergency numbers. I did put mental health resources on here as well. This video that our colleague Luis made with Dora and Sesame Street characters about explaining COVID to little ones, which was so sweet. Coping with grief. So you can see I just, CalFresh, right? Just like a place where I can dump resources and people can look through them. And the way you would add is you would just go to create new post. And this is literally just you typing in the title, and you can add here. So you can, down here you see add an image, add a gallery, add a video, add a divider, insert HTML code, which just means like the website code, right? Like if you want to link to the Dream Center, you would just insert it using that. So I'm not going to do that right now, but you would just publish it and it would show up as a new square on my blog. And again, you're always, it saves automatically on Wix, but when you're ready to publish, you would click the publish button. And so I'm constantly doing that when I'm updating. Okay, we're almost there. Self-care and fun. I definitely wanted to have something like that on my website. And so this is a really good example of me using images as links. So I inserted my 2020 COVID-19 time capsule. I inserted that as an image that I just got off the internet, but it's actually a PDF that I want people to have access to via this image. So again, I put the image in just by going to add, image, my image uploads, and I uploaded that image and then inserted it. And you can just, again, you just drag these things around like you do on Word. Very simple. But now you want to add that link, right? So how did I do that? Settings. And you can see here that it's linked to a PDF document. And then, so basically what will happen on the website is you will click that and then it will like open up that PDF document for you to download onto your computer. The same is true for 5 mindful activities to try with your family. This image, settings, is linked to mindfulness exercises PDF. And so let me see if I can do it from scratch. I'm not going to save this, but I think it's a little confusing without me actually doing it. So let me add an image. Again, I went fast. I went to add image, my image uploads. So let's say I want to use this image that I've already uploaded. And if it's an image I haven't uploaded yet, I just go to upload media like you would do in Google Drive. So I'm adding this to my page. Now it's just going to show up here, right? And let's say I want to drag it here. And now look at all these options. Click on your image. You can change it. You can go to the settings. I don't know what design means. Crop it, right? So if you want to like change its shape or what's showing in it, filters, animation, here's the link button. Click your link button. And this is just like when you create a button, it's the same menu. Do you want this image to link to a page? Do you want it to link to a web address? For me, I want it to link to a document, right? So I click document and then I would choose my file that I want to link it to. And it's going to take me back to this. So if I want to link it to that PDF document, you know, a self-care PDF document, I would upload that to here, click on it. Oh, only docs or zip can be, oh, not JPEGs. I'm so sorry. Where's, okay. I'm totally making this up now. I'm going to link it to my nature scavenger hunt, which makes no sense. But that's how you do it, right? So now I'll press done. And if I were to save that and publish it, when you click on that link, it would take you to my scavenger hunt PDF. I'm going to delete it because I don't want to mess it up on my website. But all of these images are linked. So introduction to gratitude journaling. So I have it in English and Spanish. My neighborhood scavenger hunt ideas, I have linked to Word docs with this on it, so it's easy to print. Self-care menu, I think I did the same thing. Self-care booklet for students. Laura's intern made this lovely self-care booklet, and I did the same thing. I took an image of it, and then I linked it to the actual document. Self-care worksheet, same thing. So I'll keep adding to this throughout the year. And again, the way you add to it is you just add, image, my image uploads, select the image you want. So we'll do this one again just because it's easy. And it's just gonna put it in the center and you just drag it where you want it. Wanna give it a title, add text, right? Change the image, the language on there to say whatever you want it to say. And then we wanna link this picture. So we click on it and we go to our little link button and you can link it to whatever you want. Okay, I'm reviewing my video and I realize there's one more thing that's really important for you to know. And that is this button right here. This button is showing you the mobile mode. So this is your regular desktop computer mode, but a lot of times people are going to be going to your website via their phones, right? So switch to mobile. And you're going to want to check all your pages on the mobile version because sometimes the formatting kind of gets changed. You might want to move things around. But you can see everything's the same, except now you're viewing it as if it were on a smartphone. So you go to your menus and pages and you can go to home. And it's going to show you the same stuff. So I know I had some like issues with my buttons. I needed to change some text sizes or the sizes of buttons to make it fit better and make things smooth on the mobile app. So I just wanted to show you that piece of it because it will be important. So you can see same homepage, just formatted for the phone. I did do some moving around. I'll show you one more page. Office hours. So people can still submit that form. Right, here's my office hours page. It looks the same except phone version. And you can see the text is obviously going to look a little different. And here's my requested appointment feature. It's that same thing. I didn't have to add anything new. It just automatically sort of brought over all my tools and all my text boxes and all that stuff on its own. It's more just about you checking it to make sure that the formatting still looks good. Once in a while, you'll see like a button will be kind of in the wrong place because it guessed where you might want it on the mobile app, but it doesn't know for sure, right? So you just want to check that and just move things around on there as you need. And I would also check it in Spanish because that might, you know, like move buttons a little bit too. Like if the Spanish word is longer or shorter for the same thing you're trying to communicate. You just want to just make sure, bottom line, just make sure you check your mobile version and make sure it looks good and like what you would want to present in that format as well. Everything's the same. And then when you're done with that, you go back to your desktop version. And there you go. I know that was a lot of information. I think the biggest takeaway is create your outline, explore templates, pick a template that feels good, and just play around on Wix. It's really easy to use. The biggest thing to know is the menus and pages drop down, right? Because that's how you navigate between pages, and the add button, that's your friend, right? Because that's going to teach you how, or going to give you all your tools, your text, your buttons, your images, your links. If you want to put a YouTube video on, that's where you're going to find all the different tools that will just go into your website, and then you can move it around and edit it. The other thing is always click on the thing you want to change and go to edit, right? So edit text, click on this, edit, change file, or edit settings on the file, right? So that's always kind of your pattern of what you're doing. You can do the languages on Wix. You can, you know, most of us will probably want to have it in Spanish at least, and depending on your population, maybe, you know, other languages. So you have that feature on Wix. It automatically saves. Here's your publish button. So I know I'm a fast talker. I know technology is a friend to me, and I can be kind of quick. So I know there might be questions, like I said. My email is Emily, EMILY, .Dillon, DILLON 1 at LAUSD.net. Please reach out if you're having a question or you just need support on something. I'm totally happy to help. I'm wishing everyone a really great start to the year. It's going to be different, but I think that, you know, we're all masters of adapting and of getting creative and of problem solving. So thanks for taking the time to view this. And I know that we'll all have a great year, and we'll make it, we'll make it good because we're PSWs and that's what we do. All right. Thank you.